Hi guys, this is Tony Javier, founder of Real Estate Prodigy and creator of the Total Real Estate Blueprint. And I want to share with you now the 3 foundations of a successful real estate investment company. Now in the last video, we talked about the 5 pillars of a successful real estate investor. And now I want to show you the 3 supports. As I shared on the last video, if you haven't watched the last video, please make sure you go and watch that. The 5 pillars are the things that really help me to systemize my business to make things easier. And the 3 foundational supports are the things that allowed me to step out of my business and to really know that I have a foundation for my business, something that's sustainable. 5 pillars, boom, skyrocketed my business. 3 pillars allowed me to, or excuse me, the 3 foundational supports allowed me to step out of it and to now be with you, now to teach you the business. You know, as I said before in my last video, you know, I went through a lot of struggles, and you know, I didn't have much support. I didn't have anything like this when I began, but it got me started. And I struggled through, and you know, I had to fire, you know, a lot of my staff because they were stealing from me, and go through, you know, all these things. And didn't have this. If I would have had this, I wouldn't have gone through such a period of time that I was really down. And if I would have had the 3 supports, I definitely would have been able to go through it better emotionally, spiritually, and all those types of things. So it's not only just the 5 pillars that really can help you really get to that point, but the 3 foundations are the things that can really set you up for a huge success. Okay, so let's dive into the 3 foundational supports. But before we do, let's just talk about the 5 pillars again. So remember, you define your strategy, figure out what you want to do, or how you want to strategize finding properties, or what you want to do with properties. You want to find deals, which again is your number one thing that you want to do in your business. Is you need to find deals. That's what's going to feed your business. You got to figure out how to fund the deals. You got to figure out how to manage the projects and find the right contractors. And one thing I had mentioned in the last video is building your team really needs to happen while these other things are happening. You need to build your team. Even though it's number 5, it probably, honestly, maybe should have put that as number 1. But these kind of flow together, and this right here is really what sets it up to start really running on its own. Okay? So now let's talk about the 3 foundational supports. Number 1 support is your automated systems. I've been a systems guy for you know, a long time, and I didn't really see the power of it until the last 5 years or so, when my business just started taking off. You know, we do a ton of deals, and without the systems we have in place, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. We have a system in place for marketing and finding deals. We have a system in place for, you know, finding contractors. We have a system in place for analyzing our deals. In fact, the deal analyzer that we have is something that really allowed me to step out of my business. You know, I put that together years ago, and it wasn't really that good. It was just kind of like punching some numbers in. But then I said, you know what, I need to be able to train someone on this. So I put together a deal analyzer, and that's something we have in our Total Real Estate Blueprint program. And it really just helped me to give that to someone and say, go find me deals, or actually take the deals that we're finding, go meet with sellers, analyze, and put properties under contract. So now, instead of them running numbers by me and saying, hey, what can we pay for this? They punch the numbers into a spreadsheet. They've got guidelines, and now just contracts come into my inbox all the time. I approve them. I maybe ask a few questions sometimes, but those deals are coming my way because now I've got other people analyzing those deals. I've got realtors analyzing them. I've got people in my business analyzing them. And now it's in a format to where I can say, here's what I'm looking for. Here's what you brought me. Looks good. Let's move. Let's roll. Many other systems. We have bookkeeping systems. When you start your business, you need to look at, if you're going to do things over and over and over, what system can you create for it? In fact, before I got into this business, I had a, which I still have now, a personal checking account system. And I know what money's coming in. I've got all the bills that I know that are going to be due, or I'm going to have every single month. So I have those on automatic payment. And then at the end of the month, I'll just go in and look. It takes me a couple minutes and say, are any of my bills off or is anything different? I've got an automatic credit card payment going out. If I spent more on my credit card, I just pay more on that credit card to pay it off. Other than that, I don't really touch it. I know people that say, man, I'm going to spend Saturday paying bills. Why would you spend Saturday paying your bills when you can automate that and maybe just spend a few minutes with your bills, and that's it? You have them automatically coming out of your account, you send them off, and it's that easy. So I took that into my business, and I said, how can I do that with my business? So then I started automating my mortgage payments. Anytime I have payments that go out consistently, I automate them, and it automatically goes into my QuickBooks files, right? So I don't have to see them. Well, now my office does the books, but now it makes it easier for them, and then they just send me reports. So now my system has evolved from my personal checking account to my business on how I could automate that process and get things paid without me having to pay them. And now I've been able to automate or set up a financial reporting system to where now I just get reports every week. I can look at it, I can analyze it, I don't have to put them together myself, my team does that. I look at it once a week for less than an hour. If I were doing the books myself, I'd probably spend at least 20 hours a week doing the books, between writing checks and all those types of things, maybe even a full week doing what we do with our financial automation. That is the power. We have project management systems. We have property management systems. We've got over 100 properties. So to be able to manage all of those properties, you had to have systems. Put systems in place. Start with it from day one. When you start doing something, if you say this is something I'm gonna do over and over, create a system for it. With the Total Real Estate Blueprint, we have those systems that you can put in place. So make sure if you already have that system to put it in place. If you don't, there should be a link on the bottom of this video where you can get our systems. Put systems in place. It'll change your life. If anything, put systems in place for your personal life, your personal bookkeeping, if you've got something you do sporadically throughout the week, try and chunk it down to where you can just do it once a week. So paying bills, instead of paying them as you get them, do it once a week. If you've got errands to run all your errands in a couple hours rather than, oh, I've got to go here, I've got to go here, I've got to go here. Your system is, no, this time of day in the week, I'm going to do all my personal errands. This day in the week, I'm going to go look at all my properties. This day in the week, I'm going to go meet with other investors. Whatever it is, automate that system and it'll make your life so much easier. The next thing is mentors and coaches. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on educational products, and if you add in coaching and all the things, I've spent probably hundreds of thousands of dollars on things that help me. Mentors and coaches will help you to get where you want to be. And what you want to do is you want to find a mentor or coach that has been or is where you want to be. It's priceless to be able to say, you know what, I sent out this direct mail campaign, it didn't work. They could say, hey, let me see that piece. What are you sending? Oh, well, here's your problem. You need to make this bigger so they can see the phone number. You need to have a better call to action, and try that. Then you send out the piece, and boom, you get one or two deals coming in. You made 20 to 40 grand from one little piece of information that your coach gave you, right? In fact, I had a mentor some years back, it was probably about 7 years ago, when I started realizing that I needed mentors and coaches, and he saved me $30,000 on a real estate deal. No, $50,000 on a real estate deal. I went to him and I said, hey, I just don't like this deal. It's got foundation issues, and just kind of went through the deal with him. He gave me one piece of advice. I went back to the seller and ended up doing the deal, and it saved me 50 grand, right? And it was just one conversation with my mentor. And at that time, I wasn't even paying that mentor. He was just a business guy in town that I just kind of met with on a periodic basis. A couple years after that, I got a coach, game changer. All the systems that I have, not all the systems, but some of the systems I have in place were either from that person or they had to do with that person. For instance, the deal analyzer, I took the analyzer that I had before, it was just a simple spreadsheet, and looked at his complicated one that he had that was like 4 or 5 pages and said maybe I could make it a little more, put a little more information in it. So instead of having a 4 or 5 page one that he liked, I just made mine pretty much 1 page. It's got, you know, some other information in the second page of my deal analyzer. If you have that, you'll see. But it was because of that coach that I was able to visualize stepping out of my business, automating my systems, and getting out of the business, right? And so a conversation with your mentor or coach can be a game changer. You could bang your head against the wall for a month to 2 months on a problem, and one conversation with a mentor or coach can completely change the game. It can make you an extra 20 to 40 grand. It can make you hundreds of thousands of dollars by one idea implementing over many years. It could be one thing, one struggle that you're dealing with that could just clear your mind mentally so that you can go out there and run your business better. You know, we go out there and we go it alone so often. In fact, I've done it and I still do it sometimes myself, where I'm like, okay, I need to go ask for help. You know, I've been in this business a long time, but you know, there's some things that sometimes you just get into it, and your mind is muddy with all these things you're thinking. One conversation with a coach, boom, you've got your answer and you're taking off, right? Take that into your personal life too. You know, a lot of the things I talk about, I talk about personally as well. You know, if you need a life coach, if you need a marriage coach, marriage counselor, whatever you call them, those are the people that help you through. You know, those are the people that you go to share your ideas, to share what you're going through, and they're able to guide you in the right direction. Hey, I've been there, I've done that. Why don't you just do this? You know, we don't need to go at it alone. There's a lot of help out there, and there's a lot of people that can get us through what we go through on a daily basis. I really feel like that's a reason that people struggle a lot in life, is they don't ask for help. Trust me, I've been one of them. I grew up with 7 sisters, and so I didn't speak up. If I spoke up, I was made fun of or I was teamed up on. And, you know, it took me a long time to get out of my shell and to ask for help, because I always thought if I spoke up, that people would judge me, people would make fun of me, and that I just wouldn't feel good. But it's the opposite. It's when you speak up and you voice your opinion, that's when people respect you. You know, whether, you know, you're showing your vulnerabilities, you're asking for help, people appreciate that. And believe it or not, people like to be asked for help. In fact, go next time you need to go somewhere, ask for directions. People will spend more time with you telling you where to go, because they know where to go, if they know where to go. So if you say, hey, where's that place that's around here? And they know, they're like, oh yeah, go left, go right, and go here, and they'll spend extra time to tell you because they've been there, right? They know how to get there. Someone's asking them to get there. They're more than happy to share it with them. Do it next time. I guarantee you'll see that. So if you're afraid next time that people are just going to go, oh, you know, they're going to make fun of you, or they're not going to want to help you, I'm telling you, it's the opposite. In fact, people come to me for advice all the time, and I'm more than happy to help. In fact, I'm showing you right now. So go out there and ask for help. So drum roll, please. And I put this at the bottom here because I feel like this is probably the most important thing you can do for your business. I got it totally wrong in the beginning. I had it totally wrong for years. I was working on my business. I was making money. I said, as long as I can make money, I'm going to be happy. And guess what? I made all that money, and there was a point in my life I just wasn't very happy. I had everything that I wanted pretty much. And there's blips of time that I still do that, but I don't live there. It's because I've been able to work on this, which is my personal performance. Starting every morning, I take an hour for myself. I spend at least 10 to 15 minutes meditating. I will work out. If it's a day that I don't work out, then I'll listen to YouTube videos on personal development. I'll listen to some educational products that I bought. I'll do other things to help my personal performance. We can't sustain what we do on a regular basis with all the things that we have in life, especially if you've got kids, you've got a business, and you've got all these things, without taking care of ourselves. With the total real estate blueprint, I actually have a personal performance module. Some people say, why are you teaching that? This is a real estate course. Of course it is, but if we're not sustaining ourselves personally, if we're not happy with ourselves and what we're doing, it's all for nothing. There's no reason we should be doing it. You need to take care of yourself. You need to figure out how to do things better. Automated systems is a way to perform better personally. Mentors and coaches is a better way to perform personally. But sometimes that's not enough. We need to eat better. We need to think better. We need to start our days out right. We need to feed ourselves good things rather than watching the news. If you're one of those people that watches the news, which my mom was one, so I became one, you notice it's just a lot of negativity. It's people getting killed or, crazy other things done to them. There's car accidents, it's fires. It's like, why do you need that kind of stuff? Is it to make yourself feel better? Well, it may make yourself feel better short term, but your mind is being filled subconsciously with bad things. And so when you try and think positive, your mind is going to those bad things because of what you're feeding it, right? Those are just some of the things that I see personally that I could see people change right away, is starting their day out right. A lot of people will get up, they'll drink their coffee, they'll eat their bagel, they'll drink their orange juice. And what they're happening is they're taxing their system. Too much caffeine, too much white bread and sugar. Even orange juice has a lot of sugar in it that can spike your energy and then crash it down. So in order to sustain energy, and what I've been able to do throughout the last few years that I've been practicing this, is do more meditation, do more working out. Those are the things that feed your energy. It shouldn't be coffee, it shouldn't be Starbucks, it shouldn't be Red Bull. It should be the things you do naturally. Feeding your body organic foods, not eating as much bread, not eating as much dairy, which if you read about dairy and wheat, it's part of the food groups, but it's one of the things that poison us the most. In fact, once I started getting rid of wheat and dairy in my diet about 7-8 years ago, my energy levels went way up. My anxiety level went way down. And it's little things like that that help us perform personally better. When all this stuff is hitting the fan personally or with your business, it's the things that we do with our personal performance that get us geared and ready to handle those things. Because stuff's going to happen. Contractors aren't going to show up. We're going to have properties on the market for a longer period of time. But if we don't learn how to handle that ourselves, handle that in a better way, we're not going to be able to perform better. We're not going to be able to have better relationships with our spouses. We're not going to be able to have better relationships with our kids. And what is it for? It's for nothing. So make sure you make this a part of your day, is making sure that you do things for yourself personally that make you better. Because at the end of the day, we could have millions and millions and millions of dollars in our bank by following some of these things. But if we're stressed, if we're anxious, if we're wanting to just grit our teeth and just scream, what is it all for? It's for nothing. So make sure you do that, okay? So let's recap here. Automated systems going to make your life easier. Again, something that's helped me step out of my business. I started doing it years ago and just started as time went on. If something happened in my business and I knew I was going to do it over and over, created a system for it, automated it. In fact, QuickBooks, 2001, when I first got into this business, I started QuickBooks. I had 2 properties within the first couple months that I started. I put them in QuickBooks because I knew and I visualized what was going to happen. Is if I had 10 properties, I didn't want an Excel spreadsheet that was, all over the place and receipts everywhere and things like that. I got QuickBooks and started putting things in place. I still have that same QuickBooks account that has hundreds of properties in it, and now it's automated. My team goes in there, they know what to do, and it runs on its own. mentors and coaches, get help and make sure you're asking the right people the right questions. Get out there and talk to people. Even if it's someone that's just doing a little bit better than you, even if it's someone that's at your own level, start talking to people. Start just getting information from people. If you got someone that's done a few deals, go pick their brain. What did you learn about those deals? Once you get to a certain point where you can afford a coach, you need to hire a coach. Coach is someone that is going to be higher level. You're paying them. So one, they're going to be more invested in you and they're going to perform probably a little bit better than a mentor. And not only that, but you're investing in it as well. And you're going to take that seriously and you're going to see the return. I did something last year where I spent 20 grand on, it was a mastermind. It was basically a room full of coaches and mentors. And to be in that environment and just to get a couple of ideas had paid for itself many times over. And so I don't mind writing those big checks for those types of things, because I know that when I do that, I'm going to get 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 100 times return on my investment over my career. So don't be afraid to invest in a mentor or coach, and take care of yourself personally. Work out, eat right, do some things in the morning with meditating. For those of you who say, I don't want to meditate, it's not a religious thing. It's a spiritual thing. And it doesn't even have to be a spiritual thing. It's just something that calms your mind, that gets you out of your own way. In fact, a real quick story, a couple days ago, I was working on a project and I was intensely focused on it. And about 4 o'clock, my head was like almost spinning. And I just felt this stress because I wasn't getting this project where I wanted it to be. So, I go through those days where I kind of forget to take breaks and meditate throughout the day. So I went upstairs and just sat for literally 2 minutes. Did a breathing exercise. I breathed in 6 times. I held it for 5 seconds and then breathed out for 6 seconds. Held it for 5 seconds and then repeated. And I try and do that every hour to 3 hours. And I did that, and honestly, I went from like an energy level of like 1 to 2 where I was like wanting to fall asleep to like an 8 or a 9, just with 2 minutes of breathing meditation. So it doesn't take a lot of time to work on yourself personally. If you don't have an hour in the morning, start with 10 minutes. Start with 10 minutes of meditation and then just start building up from there. If you've got kids, tell your kids and your husband that, this is my time from 6 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm taking this for my time, and it's going to bring you so much more energy throughout the day. So I really hope you enjoyed the 5 pillars. These are the things that, again, are going to set you up for success and going to help you really take off. And then the foundational supports are the things that are really going to help you to get to a point to where when things happen, you've got that foundation. Remember, personally, work on yourself personally. That is a foundation. If you don't have that foundation, which is yourself, it's kind of like in the airplane when they say put on your mask before helping others. Because if you try to help others and your mask isn't on, then you're going to pass out and you're not going to have the energy, you're not going to have the oxygen to help that other person, whether that's your kid or whoever else it is. So make sure you take care of yourself and you've got the foundations. All right, so that's it. The 1-page real estate success blueprint. If you liked it, which I'm sure you did, please share this with other people. Also, comment below on this page and tell us what you thought about it. Tell us if there's anything else you would like to learn. And take advantage of some other free information and great videos and things that we have. If you want to dive into the total real estate blueprint, which is basically taking this and putting it on steroids and showing you all of our tools, all of our systems, and all the things that I've used to automate my business to create a multi-million-dollar real estate company, to be able to step out of it and to have the financial and the time freedom I have, please go take advantage of that. It's something that I've put my heart and soul into, and I know you'll find it of benefit. Whether you're starting out or whether you're, have already done some real estate and you want to take it to the next level, I promise this blueprint will help you to get there. So thank you again, guys. Go out there, be great, and make it happen.